If it wasn't for Telamon and the individuals working for them, I wouldn't have a home for my sons. And they've really made this moment possible.
Telamon was awesome. I felt wanted, I felt appreciated, I felt loved, I felt needed.
Telamon's mission for 6 decades has been to empower individuals and our communities. Telamon has always believed in the power of educating individuals so they can learn, apply, practice, and achieve their goals, enabling them to break the cycle of poverty.
Anytime you play a role in helping someone go from where they are to a new and better place, there's a source of pride in that.
I think that the work that we do can not only transform the lives of the people who are enrolled in our services, but it transforms the generations beyond them.
Telamon's roots were planted in 1965 through the Migrant Project, which started as a small group dedicated to protecting North Carolina farm workers.
Well, North Carolina at that time had almost 80,000 farm workers, most of whom were seasonal farm workers, people who lived here, and their only source of employment, for all intents and purposes, was working the farms.
Life for the farm worker has always been hard and the pay bad. And the cost of living going up the way it has in the recent years is going to get worse because their pay hasn't even begun to keep pace with the non-agricultural jobs.
The wages were never as good as they should have been. Housing conditions were never as good as they should have been. And so the North Carolina Council of Churches thought it would use some of its resources to see what kind of help they could provide into migrant camps.
They fought for a grant that helped develop programs for education, sanitation, and infrastructural development. The Migrant Project went on to become incorporated as the Migrant and Seasonal Farm Workers Association, or MSFA.
We're the Migrant and Seasonal Farm Workers Association. In the 10 years from 1965 to 1975, the association has trained people for better paying non-agricultural careers.
Even through times of hardship and lack of funding, the MSFA fought to improve the community around it.
The country was into and just coming out of a recession. We had a new president. It was important to him not to see growth necessarily among nonprofits. We lost half of our funding. We went from $14 million to $7 million. I laid off in 2 waves almost 300 people. We were in a position where we were either going to be directed to go out of business, or we were going to find a way to survive and to grow.
They set out on a mission to make their work stand out and to show the strength of the system they built, such as their outreach and counseling that could be applied to any population they chose to work with. They examined new, innovative ways of doing business.
From that point onward, we decided that we would have to look at everything we did, everything from the bylaws of the board to the way we took in and distributed the mail. We began to peel away the surfaces of all of those systems and then to rebuild them to make us more competitive.
MSFA decided it was time to rebrand. They held a competition for the best name and selected Telamon, which is defined as a column of support carved into the shape of a human, symbolizing the strength and support Telamon instills into each individual it's dedicated to serving. Additionally, they also operate as Transition Resources Corporation in Indiana. The transformations Telamon has gone through from its founding to now have been monumental. From funding growth to welcoming new employees and developing its 3 areas of focus: early childhood and family support, including its Head Start program, workforce and career services, and housing and financial empowerment, enabling Telamon to provide resources to more people of any age along any part of their journey than ever before.
I actually think we've had a tremendous history of positive growth as an organization. The growth that I think that we will see is really wrapping a lot of other services around some core services that we have in a community so that we can help families to really stand up and become self-sufficient and dramatically impact their lives. We have 3 different areas of focus, and we need to make sure that what we are doing is high quality, And so what we're in the process of doing in our recent strategic plan is evaluate the services that we are providing and make sure that they are still a fit with our mission. But we also want to diversify our funding because we want to be able to really provide more holistic services to families or individuals.
In 2025, Telamon celebrated its 60th anniversary of service to the community. Today, Telamon has served over 20,000 people every year at its over 50 offices in 10 states.
I really hope that the organization continues to remember its history, that at our core, the organization started in a time when there was a lot of advocacy and civil unrest. I think that we need to continue to be advocates for people who are disadvantaged, and I think that we will continue to be successful for another 60 years.
Telamon continues to grow each and every day in its efforts to break the cycle of poverty by empowering families to overcome barriers to success.